Hey guys, it's Taz. I'm back and I am going to do some demonstrations for you. A very prevalent question that I have received is how I handle my editor's pick. A lot of times with the HD fibers, they do tend to tangle and mat a little bit more. I think that the editor's pick is no exception to that. So I want to show you what I do. Now this is an everyday wig for me. As you know, I just love this style and I've been able to maintain it fairly well. So what I want to show you on this is that when I get home from a 10-hour day and I take my wig off, how do I get it ready for the next day? Okay, so I'm not going to wash this wig right now, but I am going to show you my routine when I take off a wig. So I've just imagined that I've just gotten home and I have taken the wig off. Okay, what I typically find is that right here at the nape there are some tangled fibers, just the friction against my neck and collar and that movement all day. So what I will do is I will take some Jon Renau HD Smooth Detangler, okay, and I will spray it all along the nape. Okay, I will give it a good dousing there. So then what I do is I take a Jon Renau wide tooth comb and I set the wig down into the sink and I start combing through that nape. Okay, now if it's extremely tangled, I'll start at the bottom and work my way up the fiber instead of starting at the top and working my way down. And what this will do, it will help keep those ends in better shape. Okay, so just working through that nape, and then I inspect the wig everywhere else. So if anything else needs a good combing out, and I will do that. Okay, so the next thing I do is take that very same HD Smooth Detangler. Now I think the ingredients on the Jon Renau HD Smooth Detangler are almost identical to the Jon Renau conditioning spray for synthetic wigs, and I use them synonymously. So I will give a spray, all over spray. Okay, these fibers are like cloth, they tend to dry out. You don't have to wear them or anything, it's just the contact with the air and dust or any kind of pollutants will just tend to dry them out. So to preserve those fibers, you want to keep them conditioned. So every time I come home, I do use a light coating of spray. So if it all looks good, and we're done detangling and spraying, I turn it upside down and shake and pull just a little slightly on some of those fibers. What that does is it just really gets in there and loosens up those fibers, because gravity takes a toll on this wig all day long. You've worn it, you've tugged on it, you've moved it, so it kind of gets stringy and matted there. But if you can just take it and vigorously shake and pull, you're going to see where this wig is just bounces back and looks absolutely amazing. So what then you do when you're ready is I go ahead and I store it on a styrofoam mannequin head. Okay? So it is ready for the next time that I want to wear it. It's all ready to go. Now every 8 or 9 times you wear it, you're going to want to wash the wig. Right now it looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't use a lot of product in it. I don't take any heat to it. Typically I love the style right out of the box. So I can get quite a bit of wear between washings. And the less you wash a wig, the longer it will last as well. So I hope that answers your question about how I maintain my editor's pick and how I handle my wigs after I get them off at night after a long day. And I don't do anything different for any other wig. I do the same thing. The shorter wigs, I typically do not have to detangle them as much as the longer wigs, but I go through that same routine to keep them looking their best. Okay, hang in there, a couple more tips coming up. Hi guys, I'm back and I am showing you Julienne by John Renault. This Julienne is ready for a bath, and so I want to demonstrate a couple of things. I did have a viewer write in and ask me, how do I remove makeup from my wig? Sometimes the wigs hang over your face and they pick up on some of the foundation and blush and bronzer and things that you might wear, and it discolors the fibers. So I have got a really easy, simple, and effective way to treat that. Everybody has some eye makeup remover, oil-free eye makeup remover. This is one of the cheaper drugstore brands. So all I do is take a cotton square. Okay. I saturate that cotton square with the makeup remover, and then I isolate the fibers that need the makeup removed, which is typically right around the face, and the lighter colors really show this more. But I won't scrub up and down, but I will run this through and over the strands. And the trick is just to make sure that you completely saturate your cotton square. And guys, I'll tell you what, this is an awesome trick too for like vests and coats and things with collars that get makeup on them. Do this. I just had one where I had some a Sherpa lined vest, and yesterday when I was out, the makeup got all over the Sherpa that was hanging up against my neck, and I did this trick and it came right off. Okay. Okay, so when you're done, you'll end up seeing some makeup that you've removed from those fibers. This isn't going to hurt the fibers. We're not washing it with the solution. We're merely just taking off some of the makeup stains. Okay? All right. So Julienne is ready, and you can do that at any time. In fact, that would be a part of my routine when I come home at night, is if there is some makeup on the hair strands, that I would go ahead and remove that, as well as detangle and condition and separate and shake it up before I place it back on the mannequin head for storage. All right, so Julienne is ready for a bath. The first thing that I do would be to detangle. So any tangles that we would get. Now my Julienne isn't real tangled because I work on it every time I take it off. But you would go through that same detangling procedure. Make sure all the tangles are out. Okay. All right, so a couple of things you can do to wash the wig. You can use a shampoo for synthetic wigs and just follow the instructions on the bottle. Another thing that you can do is use fabric softener. I have two varieties to show you, and I'll tell you why. So I have this Snuggle Exhilarations in lavender scent, and then I have Downy Free and Gentle that has no scent. And I use both of them. And the reason why I use both of them is because if I use just straight scented fabric softener, it really becomes nauseating to me. Everybody has different, preference there. Just to me, sometimes the scent of that, even after I rinse it, is just overwhelming. So what I will do is I will use typically 3 parts of the unscented, as well as 1 part then of the lavender. So I get a little bit of the scent, all the effectiveness of the fabric softener, but yet I don't have that overwhelming perfumey scent that kind of nauseates me throughout the day. Okay? So one question you may have is it effective to use fabric softener? Does it have any cleansing properties? And the answer is yes, it does. And I think I learned this from Heather at Sister Wigs, one of her videos. There are some astringent properties, even though it's not soap, to the fabric softener, which will kind of loosen up and eliminate the oils from the cap. Plus, in the winter months, you really want some extra static protection, and I think that the fabric softener is a perfect solution for that. So what I do is I run cool water. You don't want to use hot water because hot water may alter the fibers and you may lose some of the style. So cool water. Okay. So again, it depends on your sink, but I'll use like a half a cup, a half of the cap of the non-scented, and a tad of the lavender scented or whatever flavor you like best. Okay, and I just make sure that that mixture is all mixed up in there. Now I have a trough style sink, so it can't hold much water, but it's still okay for me to wash the wig. Okay, so the next thing I do is just gently push the wig down into the solution. Okay, I just get everything all saturated. Then I go to work on the cap a little bit. You just want to be careful not to swish and manipulate those fibers too much, because if they get twisted up in there too much, it could be a problem for tangling. So I open up the cap, okay, and then I just gently scrub the ear tabs with the water solution. Just gently scrub the nape tabs. Okay. And then gently apply a little bit of scrubbing to the inside of the cap. Again, I'm not touching any of the fibers. The last thing you want to do is scrub fibers. They will tangle. Any place that the cap comes in contact with the skin is going to gather oils from your skin and may produce odors and oil. Okay, so once I have all of that completed, it doesn't take much, guys. Okay, then I give it a good long soak. Now you can gently swish and pat the wig down into the solution, but just avoid, like I said, scrubbing or twisting those fibers. You can already see that the cloudiness has increased. It's picking up some of those dirts and oils. Now you can leave this soak anywhere from 5 minutes to hours, and I've forgotten them overnight before, and it's never been a problem. And like I said, with this fabric softener, I mean, I don't think that you can use too much. I wouldn't be worried about that. Just if you're using a scented variety, and sometimes that can get very overwhelming. I've heard some people say they don't even rinse their wig after they soak it in the fabric softener, that they'll just go ahead and let it dry. Take it out of the fabric softener solution without rinsing it. So I do like to rinse mine. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. I usually let it soak for a minimum of 5 minutes. I don't think there's an advantage to soaking it longer. I think that the fabric softener is soaked into those fibers fairly quickly, and that it's going to achieve maximum effect pretty quickly. Okay. See the water? It has kind of a dirty look to it. I've worn this Julienne several times. I can't remember the last time I washed it because I had it with me in Vegas, wore it several times there, and then before that it had been last spring since I'd worn it. So I'm not sure when the last time I washed it. So again, you want to rinse with that same cool water, and I just gently let it fall over the fibers. And then I fill the sink again with clean, cool water, and I'll just give it a quick dunk. And that will be my final rinse. So when you've rinsed it to your taste, go ahead and drain your water. And just let the excess water drain out of the wig. You never want to wring your wig like you would a wet towel. But what you can do is just gently squeeze. Without wringing, just gently squeeze to get the excess water removed. So the next thing that I do is I roll it into a towel and apply some pressure. So I'm basically just tamping the excess water out. And I'm going to try to get this captured in the camera view. Okay. So I have a towel here. I usually just set that down there like that. Okay. Push the wig down into the towel and then gently roll it between the towel. Just roll it up. And I'll use my knees occasionally just to apply a little bit of pressure. Again, this is drying it without wringing it. And generally, it's 90% dry when you unroll that. Okay, so here's what she looks like after going through that tamping process. Okay, so the next thing I do is get my wig conditioner, give it a generous helping of conditioner. Sort of squeeze that in to the wig. Okay. And I always dry it upside down. The reason why I do that is because it does keep a nice separation of fibers. When they dry, they'll be nice and fluffy for you. So then what I do is I have a hook right here in my shower, and I just leave it upside down. And by the morning, or just within a couple of hours, that will be dry. So guys, without any help with my camera, I hope that came across to you okay. I hope that was helpful, and this does answer, I think this takes 3 more questions off of a list of questions that my viewers have provided. So have a great day.